So far on our Patagonia adventures, we have been exploring the Argentinian side. We started in El Calafate, then we went to El Chaltén, and this week we actually went back to El Calafate, but this time to pick up a car and head across the border into Chile. We are through the border crossing. It was pretty simple and easy. Everyone was super friendly and helped you figure out what was going on. There's 3 different entryways, so the first thing you have to do is show your passport and you get stamped. The second thing, I think it's more checking your transportation, because the car rental company gave us paperwork and put Matt's name on it because he's the main driver. So he double checked everything with his paperwork for the driving and having the car, as well as passport details. And the third step is to fill out a form. You can do pen and paper, or you can scan the QR code and do it online. We did check that we had like animal and plant products, because in the plant products it just did display that it was like dried products as well, and we have tea and coffee and things like that. So we just wanted to make sure that we were covered. They came and checked the car, had a quick look, said that we were fine with the tea and the coffee, and then let us straight through. So we were probably there for about 20 minutes or so in total. So now we're in Chile! Yeah. After one night in Puerto Natales to rest up after a long day of driving, we made our way to the breathtaking Torres Del Paine National Park.
Good morning from beautiful Chile.
Yay!
We're going to be spending a few days around this beautiful national park, but we're not going to be doing the famous W or the O treks. For anyone who is watching that doesn't know what they are, they're multi-day hikes. You camp, you stay in lodges along the way, and you literally do 3-4 days.
Don't get us wrong, we love a walk, but I feel like we're not multi-day hikers. We love more day trips. So instead, we're going to take on Torres Del Paine, and we're going to start with the base towers. This is going to be a pretty long day, I think maybe 8-9 hours or so.
Potentially 10 round trip, yeah.
Don't say that.
Danielle's not feeling her best, bless her. She's coming down the end off a bit of a cold. I'd say she's had her worst day, but it's still not great.
I'm powering through.
She's powering through, positive energy. Gonna go see the base towers. There's gonna be no clouds. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah!
I think that's where the towers are.
The clouds are just covering them.
We've got a while yet until we get there. We're just starting off.
I love how you say a while like it's not going to be like 5 hours.
That's the unit of measurement for 5 hours.
What, a while is always 5 hours?
A few important bits of information that will be useful for you if you're going to do something like this as well. Where we drove to, the road was pretty bad for the last couple of kilometers, took maybe like 10 minutes. And there is a car park here. You do go past a section where they'll check your park pass, your national park pass.
We booked those online, and we'll leave a link below of how and where to book them.
Yep. And then we carried on driving to do the base towers, and that took us to another car park area. There is a really big parking space. Your parking is included in your national park pass, and there's a whole visitor centre. Now we're going to get doing the trek, hopefully seeing some wildlife. We did see a little bit this morning on our way in, but you can see pumas here as well. So obviously keep our distance, but hoping we can see something like that too. First kilometre down, the views have been spectacular, but it has all been pretty steep, very unkept road, all rocky. If you've seen some of our other videos on Patagonia, then it's like the hike to the Fitzroy viewpoint. That last bit, this is what this has all been like so far. Compared to the Argentinian side, which we've been to already, there's way more people on this hike. Obviously, we did that big hike at for sunrise, so we set off way earlier, but coming down, there wasn't as many people as this coming up. There's been quite a few queues of people down some of these narrow passageways. This is awesome. And the path has leveled out for a bit, so it levels out now for a couple of kilometers. I think you can see the trail all along here. We need that to make up a bit of time as well. We have seen our first refugio, and you can camp here. These little tents look awesome, especially next to this river. That's exactly what we would have loved to have done, but it just hasn't worked out on this trip. Because of those horses, we had to get out of there. Danielle is very allergic and she's not feeling too well today with a bit of a cold. With all the walking, we just don't want to risk that. We've had that before in Indonesia. If you've been following us for a little while, you'll know that. But I think we're about halfway there now, and it's coming up to 10:30 in the morning, so we're making okay time. And I will say the first half of that has been pretty difficult compared to the Argentinian side of Patagonia, the hikes that we did there. Very lesser kept roads and more difficult terrain, ups and downs, but the views have been amazing and it is a very, very nice walk.
After a few hours of very beautiful trekking, it's a very beautiful trail, I'll give it that. It's very up and down, but I think we are approaching the incline, the main incline towards the end. So, not gonna lie, not looking forward to that one, but
You can do it.
We know it'll be worth it.
You can do it.
We can do it! We've got 1 kilometre left.
I think this is the most difficult.
Ooh, I'm not looking forward
And
to
windy apparently.
it. Of course, this is when the wind arrives.
Now that I'm slightly shielded from the wind and the incline hasn't started properly yet, I'll just let you know that that sign at the start said you can't start this bit of the trail after 3 p.m. and you have to leave the viewpoint at the end by 4 p.m. The whole viewpoint is closed. So if you are going to come a little bit later in the day like us, I mean, we started at 8. That's just late compared to some of the other treks that we've done. But yeah, if you're going to start at 11, 12, 1, you're probably not going to be able to make it here in time. So start this one in the morning if you want to make it all the way to the viewpoint at the end. It is windy, but we are getting there.
It's so close! Oh my god. I thought that was never going to end, I'm not gonna lie. That is, I think, my least favourite trail I've ever done.
It's very difficult. We spoke too soon when we said it's not too bad.
Don't get me wrong, like, I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, the views are amazing,
it's
but
so
rocky
all
and
over the
rubbly
place.
and up and down, and you think you're there and then there's still
You're really
so
not.
much left to do.
If you think you're there, you never are.
Yeah,
That's
you never
the number one thing
are.
on this trail.
It's that movie that you're like, oh, it's over, and there's still an hour and a half left to go.
Yeah, and then there's end credits, and then there's a teaser right at the end. That's what this trail is.
Well done.
Oh, I'm so happy we're here.
Now it's time for food. I'm so hungry.
Let's take in this beauty, because it is amazing.
Yes. We've earned it.
That's a big one.
As the wind picked up and the clouds set in, it was time to make our way back down the mountain. But I had to stop for one last look before setting off.
Further down, we saw that rangers had actually closed that section, so we're turning people away from continuing up to the top.
We have finished the two hardest parts of the trail.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe this trail. It's not a hard trail, but it's not an easy trail.
No, it's the hardest trail we've done
in
Patagonia so far.
And we are quite tired because we have just been to El Chaltén and we've done a few hikes.
This is several days now of hiking, especially for these two.
We've done a few more extra little... We've done a few more side quests.
Yeah, we're all a bit tired.
Yeah.
And maybe that took some of the enjoyment out of it, but in general I think because the trek is so difficult and rocky and slippy, you're always looking down, you can't really look up and enjoy where you are, which you can on some of the other ones.
Yeah, very true.
But the views at the end are amazing. I imagine it would be really beautiful for sunrise. They're way up in the dark. I don't even want to think about that.
No, that sounds scary. I wouldn't do that.
But I imagine it would be incredible. We got really lucky with the clear views that we had today. We were really unsure.
Yeah.
Kept looking like it was going to be cloudy,
yeah,
which
I
it
think
is
we
now.
got there just before the big rain cloud is about to go over it.
It took us 4 hours there, so I'm hoping it takes a little bit less to get back. And then a 1 hour drive to where we're staying, and they do dinners, which you've got to pay extra for, but breakfast is included.
We'll show you where we're staying because it looks really beautiful.
Looks really cute. We're back at the Refugio. Halfway back.
At this Refugio, you can pay by card, and they have a free tap to fill up your water.
Yeah. Oh,
I've never been so happy to see a visitor centre before in my life. That was long.
That was so long. That was difficult. Tomorrow, a more chill day.
Yeah. Oh, we did it though.
We did. Cheers. Well done. You did really well today.
Thanks, so did you.
Obviously after yesterday's hike we were a little bit tired, but this morning we were able to have a lie-in and some breakfast because the weather wasn't great. Now it's picked up, the wind has also picked up as well, but we've not got too many crazy hikes today. We're going to be doing some driving, stopping off for some viewpoints and basically fitting in what we can. So let's see what we can show you. We've reached one of the few viewpoints. This is the end viewpoint, if you like, though. The road was pretty bad getting here. We might try and find a different route to get back. We were stressed out.
We were. We haven't got a four-wheel drive, so it's a bit nerve-wracking when you
are in a rental as well.
Yeah, and a rental as well.
But this view is a
Beautiful.
postcard.
It really is.
Literally. On the way to our next stop, Salto Chico waterfall, literally just a few minutes from that viewpoint, there was a visitor centre, or a check-in centre might be more accurate. We had to stop, show our national park passes before we can continue further.
But before the waterfall, we had to stop by this bridge. The views of the lake and the mountains here were spectacular.
That is not a bad view, is it?
Wow. My only regret is not bringing swimwear because this is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Our final stop of the day is Lake Paho, and it's again just more incredibly beautiful nature. Hair is getting a little bit wild now from the crazy winds that we've had today, so that's why I look like a rag doll. This is so nice.
We are day 2 on our road trip adventures. I am feeling so much better today, so I am properly back. It is also very windy outside, so we're going to have trouble speaking out there, but we've just pulled up to our first stop and wow, we've picked such a beautiful day. I mean, I say picked.
We have a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. It's our last full day in Patagonia. We're going to have to show you because the first stop is wow.
We're back at one of the points that we went to yesterday, the waterfall, because Danielle and Emma were obsessed with finding this boardwalk. And we drove around yesterday trying to find it. They were convinced they knew the rough area that it was. Turns out it was right where that waterfall was. And they finally, as always, get their own way.
Look! We are officially on our last hike in Patagonia, which makes us very sad.
It does. I'd be glad not to do a little bit of walking for a while, but
break.
We will miss this place. It's been amazing.
It's phenomenal. Everywhere you look is just breathtaking.
Wow.
So we wanted to address a couple of little points from today and yesterday. The trip that we've done, the loop that we've done, you can actually do it in one day.
Easily, if you had the right weather.
So if you set off earlier in the morning, like let's say 8 AM, you could probably do it all throughout the day because the day is set quite later as well at the minute.
Yeah.
So sunset's not till about 9:30 PM.
We've had to do it across 2 days because the weather here
just in the mornings,
so unpredictable, and it changes all the time. It's blue skies right now, but the mornings recently
it was quite rainy.
Have been a little bit too overcast, a bit too rainy. So we've been starting. Today was maybe like 11. Yesterday was like 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, we really cut out a chunk of the day.
But yeah, you can definitely do this loop in one day, and I mean it would be great to have a 4-wheel drive, but we don't have a 4-wheel drive. It's gravel roads, flat tires happen quite a lot here,
one happened in our guest house on the car next to us, hoping that we don't find ourselves with a flat by the time we get back for this last one.
Fingers crossed.
We're going to enjoy this hike. It's about 5k's round trip, 2 hours total, and then we're going to head back to our guest house. We will be grabbing a bit of food today. We'll show you around the guest house a little bit.
Okay, let's go check out these views.
Just like the base towers hike, this also has a closing time, which is 6 p.m. Here is a very quick look at where we stayed. It was in a great area in the town of Cerro Castillo. It cost £422 between 3 people for 3 nights, and that included breakfast. That night, when we got back to our accommodation, there was also a local festival, so we took a walk around and grabbed a bite to eat. We absolutely loved our time in Torres Del Paine. It is a beautiful part of Patagonia, and we were very happy that we managed to make it here. Join us next week as we head back into Argentina, because we still have some places we needed to see before we actually left.
We made it!
See you next week!